One of the things we love to do at Revolution is celebrate stories, real life stories as to how God is working in our lives. And while we can stand up in front and say all these great things, sometimes it's much more effective, it's much more powerful to hear how God is moving in people's lives in a very real way. And we're going to do that today with my friend Rick. And Rick, first of all, thanks for doing this. This is awesome.
Thank you. I really enjoy coming here and talking to people, telling them stories. Well, on May 29th of this year, 2020, I got laid off. And I was pretty much told it was a permanent layoff because of the COVID virus. They had to cut back employees, and they started with the top.
So you're in a job for 21 years, a job that has helped provide for your family, a job that has put food on the table and all that stuff.
Yes.
And suddenly you're told you're done.
Yes.
So what's going through your mind then?
Well, at first I was kind of a shock, and I got home and I told my wife. And I'd say for the first couple days, I was just in a daze because, I'm used to getting up at a certain time, going to work, and all of a sudden now I'm not doing this, and I didn't know what to do with myself. And I could not see my future. I had this projected future of how I was going to retire at this place, live on my 401k, and everything was just going to be fine. It was the first time I did not know how to fix it.
Right.
I didn't even know what to do about a resume, going out even trying to find a job after working 24 years.
Absolutely.
You just don't worry about that stuff.
Yeah. So what's going through your mind now? Because you've lost your job, you're not getting unemployment. So what's going through your mind at this point?
I'd say, but after 2 or 3 weeks, you start getting some fear in you. And I wasn't reading the Bible so much as I would like to, but I told myself, it's time. I need to figure out what's going on. And I was listening to a podcast of Rick Warren's, and this particular podcast, he was talking about there are situations in your life where you can't solve them. No matter what you do, you can't solve them, and you have to give it to God to do, and just have the faith that He's going to take care of it. 2 Chronicles 20, I'm not going to name these people's names because I can't pronounce them, but basically there was 3 armies coming at Israel, and the king knew he couldn't win against these 3 armies, so him and all of Judea prayed, and they talked to God about how magnificent He was, how He parted the Red Sea. They just really built God up. Then after they did that, they stated their problem, and they about the whole armies coming at them. And then when they got done with that, they thanked God. That was the part that I never heard that before, but thanking Him ahead of time. And so I said, all right, if it works for them, it's going to work for me. It was good thinking. So I did that. I was very vocal to God, and there's sometimes I was just downright mad, angry. I'm sure a few tears came out, but I praised Him. And
but that's where you were at this time, because you had some fear settling in, you had some anxiety.
Right.
And you dealt with it by crying out to God.
Right.
Yeah.
Because that's when the fear first started settling. Before it was still just a haze, I was still trying to get over not working, but then the fear of Satan started attacking me, telling me how bad I was. If you had just done this at your job, you probably would still have a job or something. Those type how he attacks you. And so I did that, and then I thanked Him for it, and it was just this relief that came over me. And I can't really describe it, just this relief. Getting into month 3, and there's more fear starting to set in, but I kept saying, you got this, Lord. I know you've got this.
So it didn't happen right away. So you cry out to God, and then nothing really happens for a while, but your faith remains strong.
My faith remains strong. Yeah, at first it was kind of weak still, even though God has really fixed some big issues in my life in the past. So I know He's there. I know He hears prayers. But this one took a while because the whole time I still have no job. My savings account is running out, and I'm not seeing anybody knock the door that's going to pay me what I made before. And so we get down about the 3 month, and also I'm talking to my life group, about this the whole time, and they're constantly praying for me. And I tell you, that is just a miracle in itself, the life group. And we get down to the 3-month time period, and I am panicking looking for a job. And Walmart calls me for an interview.
Okay.
So I go in there. It was very bottom of what you do at Walmart, but it was a job. So they say, right on the spot, basically, yeah, we'll hire you. And they're just like, I almost fell to my knees just thanking God, because he heard my first prayer, and he answered it. And then a couple days after that, I go to my unemployment court. So I won all the past unemployment, all the past COVID virus money. So I got a huge check. Then that paid off all my bills I was way behind on. And again, it's just, I knew you had it. I knew God had it. But I had to go through 3 months of just holding on to the faith that I knew God had it. I mean, wow. And I'm just, so through this whole story, I mean, there's nobody could convince me otherwise now that God is there, God listens to prayers, and God answers prayers.